Shy Waitress signed to Billionaire's deaf mother. His reaction left everyone in tears. In a quiet corner of a busy cafe in downtown Los Angeles, a shy waitress named Lena Parker wiped tables with quiet grace. She wasn't the kind to draw attention. Her uniform was always neat, her smile polite but timid, and her voice barely above a whisper. Customers came and went, rarely remembering her face. But one rainy Tuesday morning, fate decided to make her impossible to forget. A stranger with an aura of power. The door chimed, and a tall man in an impeccably tailored suit entered. His confident stride and sharp gaze made the room fall silent for a heartbeat. He was Ethan Reed, a billionaire tech CEO known for his brilliance and his cold demeanor. Rumor had it he didn't believe in love, kindness, or anything that couldn't be measured in profit margins. Trailing behind him was an older woman with soft silver hair and kind eyes. She smiled at Lena as she entered, her movements careful but graceful. "Good morning," Lena greeted, placing menus on their table. The woman didn't respond. Instead, she tilted her head slightly, smiling again. Ethan cleared his throat. "She's deaf," he said flatly, as though stating a business fact. "Just bring us the specials." Lena froze for a moment, nodding. "Of course," she whispered, though he had already looked away. But as she turned to leave, she glanced back at the woman. The gentle kindness in her eyes pulled at Lena's heart. And then, instinctively, something beautiful happened. A secret talent revealed. Lena placed the menus down and, with trembling hands, began to sign. "Good morning. My name is Lena. What would you like to drink?" The older woman's eyes widened in shock. Then, a radiant smile broke across her face. Her hands moved gracefully in return. "You know sign language." Lena's heart pounded as she nodded, signing back, a little. "My younger brother is deaf. I learned for him." The woman laughed silently, the sound replaced by the sparkle in her eyes. They signed for a few moments, about the weather, the cafe, and her favorite tea, until Ethan looked up from his phone, confused. "What's going on?" he asked, looking between them. His mother signed something to him, her hands moving quickly. "She says you're very sweet," Ethan translated dryly, but his brow furrowed slightly, as if he was seeing Lena for the first time. A connection beyond words. Throughout the meal, Lena continued to sign little things to Ethan's mother, whose name she learned was Margaret. They laughed silently, communicating in a way that words could never match. Lena even drew a small smiley face on a napkin for her, which Margaret tucked into her purse with care. When the check came, Ethan stood to leave. "Thank you," he said, slipping a $100 bill on the table. "For being kind to her." Lena blushed. "She's lovely," she said softly. He looked at her, as if unsure how to respond. "Not everyone thinks so," he murmured before walking out. Lena didn't know what he meant, but she couldn't stop thinking about it. The return visit. 3 days later, the billionaire returned, alone. Lena nearly dropped a tray when she saw him. He was out of place in her world of clinking cups and coffee steam. "I wanted to thank you properly," he said awkwardly. "My mother hasn't smiled like that in months. You made her day." "That's very kind of you to say," Lena replied, her voice small. He hesitated, then added, "We're having a charity gala next week. It's for deaf education programs. Would you like to attend?" Lena blinked in shock. "Me? Oh no, I couldn't. I don't belong at events like that." But Ethan smiled faintly. "You'd be surprised who belongs where." The night of the gala. When Lena arrived at the grand ballroom, she almost turned back. The chandeliers sparkled like frozen rain, and everyone seemed wrapped in silken diamonds. She felt invisible again, until Margaret spotted her. The older woman's face lit up, and she hurried over, signing excitedly, "You came. You look beautiful." Lena blushed, signing back, "You too." Ethan watched the exchange from across the room. For once, the coldness in his eyes melted. Later that evening, during his speech, Ethan surprised everyone by pausing halfway through and signing to the audience. "My mother taught me that silence can be full of love. Tonight, we celebrate those who make that silence heard." The room erupted in applause. Margaret's eyes filled with tears. Lena's did too. A private moment. After the gala, Ethan found Lena on the terrace, looking at the city lights. "You changed something in her," he said quietly. "Before you, she hardly spoke, Signed, I mean. She lost faith in people after my father passed. Lena turned to him. She's wonderful. You're lucky to have her. He smiled sadly. She says the same about me, but I think she's wrong. Lena looked down, unsure what to say. Then Ethan added softly, you remind me of her. Gentle, kind, real. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the noise of the city faded away. A twist of fate. Weeks passed. Lena returned to her quiet cafe life, though her heart often drifted to that night. Then one morning, her manager handed her an envelope. Delivery for you, he said. Inside was a handwritten note in neat, masculine script. Greater than you helped my mother find her voice again. Maybe you can help me find mine. Dinner. Ethan. Lena smiled, tears welling up. Beneath the note was a small pin shaped like a hand forming the sign for love. Dinner that changed everything. When she met him at his private restaurant, Ethan was different, warmer, less guarded. Over dinner, they talked not about money or business, but about life, family, and silence. Ethan admitted, I used to think emotions were weaknesses. But watching you with my mother, I realized kindness doesn't make you weak. It makes you brave. Lena blushed, signing softly, kindness is a language too. Ethan smiled and signed back, then teach me. They spent the rest of the evening signing simple phrases, thank you, beautiful, happy. Every mistake made them laugh harder, and by the end of the night, Ethan had learned how to sign her name. The viral moment. Months later, Ethan invited Lena and his mother to his company's annual conference. To everyone's shock, he began his keynote speech entirely in sign language. On the screen behind him flashed the words, greater than, the most powerful things in life are not spoken, they're felt. When he finished, he turned to Lena in the audience and signed, thank you for teaching me how to listen. Cameras flashed. Videos went viral. Millions watched the clip titled, Billionaire learns sign language for his mother, thanks to a waitress. People around the world cried watching it. But for Lena and Ethan, the moment was simply real, a quiet expression of gratitude and love. A love that spoke without words. A year later, Lena and Ethan stood together in that same cafe where it all began. Margaret sat nearby, smiling as Ethan signed to her fluently. Lena wore a small silver necklace shaped like a hand, Ethan's first gift to her. As the rain began to fall outside, Ethan reached for her hand and signed 3 words that needed no translation. I love you. Tears filled Lena's eyes as she signed back, forever. In that simple exchange, silent, powerful, and full of meaning, the entire world seemed to stand still. Because sometimes, love doesn't need to be heard to be understood.